out my head.
All across this thing, big active.
Another trip to the nose.
Dancing his way to this beautiful section. In control, that was so much style.
Trim style through this inside section. Why not switch that?
Welcome to the 8:05 post show for the Cuervo Classic Malibu Longboard Championships presented by O'Neill. It has been an incredible day of surfing here at Malibu. The beach has been packed, the umbrellas have been out. We've seen all the likes of the gloomy, cold morning, the wind kicking up in the afternoon, but with that crispy, hot mid-third of the day, where there's just so much action that's been going down. We've seen all the sets, and we've seen all the excitement of crowning two world champions in Harrison Roach and Soleil Errico. Joining me on the post show as Shannon Hughes is Sam Bleakley and Matt, the Waxhead Chinaski. It's been great to be here calling the action with you. Sam, first reactions on what an incredible day it's been.
I can safely say it was the best day of competitive longboarding I've ever seen in my life. The level of surfing from the men and women was exceptional. It was through the roof. It was just outstanding.
Matt, I'm sure you agree.
Absolutely, and I'm talking maybe in the scheme of longboard surfing, you know, from the glory days of the 1960s, this day will go down as one of the most iconic. The best surfers and the best waves, which is, you know, sounds like a simple task, and it's taken a long time to get here, and deserved world champions.
And there's so many surfers that have come and gone from the World Longboard Tour that have worked their way and worked so hard behind the scenes to get us here. So we're so thankful for those of you that are tuning in, that are watching today. You know who you are, and there's a reason that we're here at Malibu today because of you.
Yeah, there's people all around the planet who've pushed forward this movement to re-energize the reason we ride bigger boards, the beauty of longboard, the essence of the footwork, the nose riding, the rail work. And this has come to fruition today, and we can all be proud of that.
Well, before we get into more here on the post show, we do have our presentation ready, and we're going to crown our world champions. We'll throw down to Kaipo Guerrero now to take us through it all.
Thank you, Shannon. And are we up right here on the speakers? Thank you, Malibu. Thank you, all of you. What a tremendous couple of days that we've had here in Malibu, and that we've had performing with the world's best longboarders. We had world titles decided in the water just the way we want it. Style, grace, and control, all on display here. We want to thank Malibu, the Malibu locals, this community that has been so wonderful. You're an icon of surfing and California surf culture. Oh, I'm beside myself because this has been probably the best longboard contest that I've ever attended, as far as participation, the performance levels, the excitement, buzzer beaters, incredible. Oh, we got some thank yous to give out. So first of all, I want to thank Jose Cuervo, our title sponsor of this competition. Thank you, Jose Cuervo. Also, thank you to O'Neill, our presenting partner. Thank you to O'Neill. We got some great event partners that helped us out. Hydro Flask, 805, Flying Embers. Thank you to the people over at Epiphone, Turtle Bay Resort, and that wonderful VIP area. Our good friends over at Wax and Boxed Water. Let's give all of our supporters a hand. And just as importantly, I want to thank the community of Malibu for hosting us and sharing your lineup with us. Mahalo, Malibu. I also want to thank the city of Malibu, the Los Angeles Beach County's Harbors, Gary Grisby, and the Los Angeles County Lifeguards. Thank you all for your support. Thank you for bringing this show over here. We are also deeply grateful to our community partners who joined us with our We Are One Ocean beach cleanup here. Thank you to the Surfrider Foundation. Thank you again to Jose Cuervo. The WSL would like to formally recognize Malibu as the traditional homelands of the original Chumash people. Malibu is the anglicized version of the Chumash word hu mali wo, which in Chumash language means the place where the surf sounds loudly. Now remember, the Chumash people have been here for over 14,000 years and are still here, stewarding the land alongside you, the surfers, environmentalists, and others who care about this shared coastline. Thank you all. We thank them for their ongoing presence, participation in this event, and we'd like to pay our respects to the elders of the past, present, and emerging. Thank you. Here to help hand out the trophies, we have Jessie Miley Dyer, the WSL Senior Vice President of Tours and Head of Competition. Thank you, Jessie. We have the WSL Longboard Senior Manager, Kira Seeley. Thank you, Kira. We also have our Chumash representatives in the way of Casey Rodriguez and Marianne Para. Thank you, ladies, for being here. I would now like to invite Casey to say a few words.
Hi, crew. First, I would like to thank my elder, Julie Timmermite Stensley, who gave me the green light to lead this amazing journey. Thank you, WSL, for always making known that you guys are great visitors on Indigenous land. We appreciate all the efforts you bring to us. Not just Chumash Indigenous, but the Indigenous lands all over the country. We honor and respect you for doing that. Third, I would like to thank Kutash for blessing us with amazing raves for you guys, amazing weather. And I thank all of you guys for coming. It really makes our hearts happy to see so many of you joining us on the beach today in a good way. Wherever you guys travel off next, please remember this time next year we will be here waiting to greet you guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, let's hand out some hardware. Let's hand out some awards. Let's call out the runner-up for the 2022 Cuervo Classic Malibu Longboard Championships. Come on up, Kaniala Stewart. Come on up here. Beautiful surfing. Connie, how are you feeling right now?
I feel good. I'm stoked to be here. Stoked to make it this far and re-qualify for next year. Thank you guys, everyone, for coming out, watching, supporting us. Love everybody out there.
Give it up for Kaniala Stewart. And the runner-up for the women's for the 2022 Cuervo Classic Malibu. Let's bring up Sophia Cohen. Come on up, Sophia. Oh, we're proud of you. 16 years old, big moment. How do you feel?
I feel pretty good. I mean, everyone keeps telling me I'm only 16 years old, but yeah, everyone surfed really, really great, and congratulations to the champs, and yeah.
How proud are you of these guys? How are you proud of you of your whole crew from Queens? You guys come out here in force.
Yeah, I'm really grateful for all my friends and family here all the way from Hawaii, and thank you for your support.
Yes, sir, bless her.
Let's give it up for these two, our runner-ups. Now, let's bring up our champ. It's been a long time coming. In and out of competition, so close in 2021, and now his name is going to be on the list of world champions. Let's bring up Harrison Roach. This is our 2022 Cuervo Classic Malibu champion. Let's get a photo. All right. Well, I want to hear some words from you. Long road, great surfing, Started the year with a win, ended the year with another win and the world title.
Yeah, thanks, Kaipo. First of all, I'd like to pay my respects to traditional owners of this land and the Chumash people. Pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. Appreciate being here. Malibu is a beautiful place. It's got a lot of history with longboarding too. And yeah, it's taken a little while to get to this point. And I got there, so I'm happy.
We're happy for it. Let's give it up. Here's our champ of the event and your 2022 World Longboard Champion, Harrison Roach. We got more to give out because on the women's side, the local girl came through for the local crowd, and a lot of that was for a lot of your guys' support. Bring up Errico. Oh, Sole, you came through so many heats in the clutch. Your performance level was excellent. Every time you hit the water, you're feeling right now a title here at home and a second world title.
It doesn't feel real, actually. Like, it doesn't. But, you know, maybe later it will. I'm so happy. I've literally been, like, manifesting this. I've been thinking about it, like, every night before I go to bed. And every time I went out and practiced, I would just think about the end goal. And I wanted to give a shout out to Sophia because she is so young. She's 16 and she's in the final. So I just wanted to give a shout out to her. Yes. And wow, this is amazing. I love this moment.
This is a big moment. Soak it up and let's have one more round of applause for all of our champions. All right. We're not done yet. We got the event trophies, but we got to give up the big trophies. Let's first. Yeah, this is the big trophy. Harrison? Well, we'll give a moment because actually we want to thank, of course, all the blessings that we had. And you know what? The good vibes that we brought some waves, and Malibu gave us those gifts. Thank you so much. Okay, now let's make it official. Your 2022 World Longboard Champion, Harrison Roach. Trade out there, Harry, and this is the moment. Hoist that thing. Yeah. Your women's 2022 World Longboard Champion, Sole, 2 times. Here we go. Sole Errico. And with that, I'm going to throw it back to the set to the 805 post show. We have some big announcements coming in the post show. We're going to talk about next year's season, and it's looking good. Thank you, Malibu, again, and congratulations to Harry and Sole.
Thanks so much, Kaipo, and a massive congratulations to our 2 world champions, Harrison Roach and Sole Errico, and to our finalists, Caniella Stewart and Sophia Culhane. Incredible displays of longboarding, of traditional longboarding celebrated here on the beach in Malibu this week, and it's been such a pleasure to be able to see all the action, Sam.
Harry's famously modest at award ceremonies. He finally wins a long overdue deserved world title. He doesn't feel the need to lift that above his head. He knows his surfing has been doing the talking for 20 years, and I'm so pleased to see Harrison win this. This is a real statement. He's been doing the type of longboarding that people have been looking up to around the world for 2 decades, and he's finally got that long overdue world title.
Absolutely. He saw the transition a long time ago, and there's sort of a alarm bell start ringing. We were chatting about the offset. Like, it's crazy that this world title represents so many people and the emerging style of longboarding that is seen all around the world, all those little cultural pockets.
An incredible celebration, as we can see those world champions getting some photos, and to be able to see that celebration of the sport here against the classic Malibu wall.
Yeah, iconic. I mean, this is such a heritage location, you know, from the early days of Tube Stake to Lance Carson to all of the 90s resurgence longboards like Kassir Maydor and Carla Rowland Zamora and Jimmy Gambo, Josh Fairborough, Dane Peterson, and then now this contemporary crop with Soleil Errico winning a world title in front of the iconic Malibu wall that has shaped surfing lifestyles around the world for generations.
Well, let's take a look at Harrison's road to the world title. His finals day, Matt, was pretty unreal.
Phenomenal surfing, the best I've ever seen Harrison Roach surf, and I've seen him surf in pretty much every competitive event since he was 11 years old. Surfing the full length of the board, ticking the boxes, the criteria, but doing it with so much style. Style is subjective at the best of times, but not in this case. Harry telling people and making a statement. Will he come back next year? I don't know, because he did this. I don't know if he can trump it. Can you surf any better?
Exactly. This might be the icing on the cake for him. He might be happy with this. And it was so special that Thomas Bexon was on the sand to watch, because Thomas Bexon creates these incredible designs that Harry rides.
Yeah, and this board in particular, Shannon, was designed specifically for this win at Malibu.
That's right. He needed to make some adjustments to make sure he could really get those deep pocket nose rides and the extended nose rides, but as well as carrying that rail work. His partner Edie was here with him on the beach as well.
And I mean, look at this section. That's the mid-board trim we talk about, but sets him up. Everything was purposeful. His whole routine, his just performance, everything was functional like that. Just, I mean, you can't coach that. You can barely train for it. It's a feeling and it's a connection that we reference so many times throughout this event.
And we know all about the surfing that he's been doing for so long at Noosa, but he's also spent a lot of time here at Malibu, and he's had those massive heats with Taylor Jensen that he's sometimes lost by a narrow margin. But this time, that semi-final, when he had that momentum from the semi, you just felt it was going to be his year.
Yeah, once he made it past that semi-final, all things were working in his way. He took out Colt Robbins in that quarterfinal as well. And then Connie Stewart, who was one of the in-form surfers of the event.
And Connie Stewart, for me, is the contemporary poster boy of international longboarding. He just embodies all the cool charisma. It's everything we want to achieve, that style, that upright posture, those hood ornament hang tens, that Hawaiian style. And we know he's going to be back for world titles. He could win, you know, at least at 3 or maybe more world titles in the next 10 years.
It's such an international art form, lifestyle, sport, whatever you want to call it. But what the performance that we saw today was incredible, and the highlight reel will be one of the best we've ever seen in the history of longboarding.
And one of the main standouts in that highlight reel is none other than the local Soleil Errico. Her road to winning a world title, her second world title here at home, was such a graceful thing to witness.
Well, from the get-go, I was loving the reinvention of Soleil's surfing. I remember her winning that world title with trim-based surfing and more of a squat roundhouse cutback. But what she's got now is this flex and power in these knees, this hip work, this release off rail, this wide point back. That board suits her, and the nose riding is as critical as ever. Everything about this has been dynamic. That Velvet Hour board has brought a type of longboarding to me that I know a lot of women around the world are going to really now aspire to achieve themselves.
I think a lot had to do with the foot positioning. You can really notify that front foot, and that's just not a simple thing to identify and change in someone's routine. It's everything. It's your power base. It's the way you feel comfortable. It's that front foot is just leading, and she's opening up those hips, allowing that fluid flowing surfing from the tail, middle and the nose.
And there was a lot of body language. There was a lot of Australian influence to the way she was surfing. I saw elements of Nat Young, of Bob McTavish, of even Wayne Lynch. And then I felt like Kat Hughes, the great Australian female longboarder who was one of the modern pioneers of the drop knee for Australian female longboarders. There was a lot of that in Soleil's surfing, and she was just on fire, and I felt like she would have that momentum, and sure enough, she did take the win.
And she started with that win against Alice Lemoyne in the quarterfinals, then took out Mason Schremer, the Australian, in the semis, and then to match up with the 16-year-old and Sophia Kalane for that final. What a way to finish things out.
And we must give a big shout out to Sophia. She was a model of nose riding. I felt Khalees Keleopaha was a model of footwork. Sophia was a model of nose riding, and Soleil was a model of rail work. But Sophia, her nose riding on those Michael Takayama boards was textbook. And I just say to all of you surf fans around the world, watch the video replays, because today was beyond special.
Well, it's been a special day, and we're going to continue on with more of the 805 post show after this. And we're going to bring in Jessie Miley Dyer to talk us through the Longboard Tour schedule for next year. So stay tuned for all that information. Welcome back to the 805 post show. We're here in Malibu, where we've just crowned the new World Longboard Champions, and it's been a really fun couple of days with some of the best surf we've seen all year, and the surfers just being so excited to get the opportunity to surf here at Malibu. Shannon Hughes in the booth, joined by Sam Bleakley, and now Jessie Miley Dyer of Tours and Competition. And Jessie, you're going to break down the news for us on the new Longboard World Tour, but first off, your thoughts on this week's event.
Oh my gosh, I mean, what an amazing event and what an amazing wave. But you can't go wrong with crowning 2 world champions in the final here. And I mean, for us to have a day like today at Malibu and the waves we've had today, it's been incredible. I'm really proud of the whole tour.
So are we. We're so excited as fans of the sport. And now to find out what's happening next year. What can we look forward to for that 2023 tour? What are the stops? How many can we expect, and where will they be?
Yeah, so actually we're going to be having 4 events for the 2023 World Longboard Tour. So we're extending our event footprint by 1. And, we've got a mixture of some classic point breaks in there and some new spots. We're going to be going to Bells Beach. We're going to El Salvador. We'll be in Malibu for a world title. And then we have a 4th Longboard Tour stop that is yet to be determined.
So excited to see those stops coming through, Sam.
Oh, wow. What an honor to get the first reaction to that. I mean, Bells Beach, Jessie. I mean, that is iconic for surf culture globally. And what an exciting opportunity for longboarders to put on a great display at another iconic point break.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and one of the things too, when we're looking at Bells and El Salvador, Malibu, it's this condensed format that we're looking at. We're going to be having these events closer together so that we can allow the athletes to travel and, really a great focus on longboarding for the surf industry.
Well, following on to that, what can we expect for that qualification process to qualify for the 2023 tour? How many surfers? And what do we expect for that qualification process?
So we're going to have 24 surfers for both men's and women's tours. We're taking 8 off of the 2022 tour, so we're going to have that 8 as of today. Then we have 14 that will be coming from the regions, which is really important for us, and we're really focused on regional qualifiers right now, and the goal is absolutely to have more than 1 in each region, and then we'll have 2 event wildcards, which will be determined by the Tools and Competition team.
Incredible, Sam, to see those numbers up to 24 for the longboarders.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that is fantastic. I mean, we can really see from these last couple of days the strength and depth of international longboarding represented from as far afield as Peru and around Europe and here in the States and out of Hawaii and Australia. And it really is exciting to expand that field to 24. And I know there's a lot of young talent out there who will be super hungry to get the chance to win a world title next year here at Malibu.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, WSL Rising Tides yesterday, when we look at that next generation even, there's a lot of young kids coming up, and I think 24 is absolutely the right number.
And seeing that the numbers have increased to that extra 4 surfers, what are we looking at for a format?
So the format for our finals day is going to be the big one that we're really excited about. So when we're coming to Malibu next year, we're going to have a 1-day event format that'll be crowning a world champion, and that'll be similar to the CT as we looked at. That's the event to crown it. We're going to actually have 8 surfers in that format. So it'll be the best 8 men and women, and it's all going to come down to that final day, and you got to win it in the water.
Incredible, Sam, to see those world champions crowned in the water.
Absolutely, and such an exciting schedule, to be crowning champions at Malibu. And also, the role of El Salvador has a big part to play in longboard culture. There were scenes in Big Wednesday filmed in El Salvador. And it was a replica of the iconic right-hand point break. El Salvador is packed with some of the best longboard waves in the world, and that's going to be extremely exciting to move between Bells to El Salvador to have that 4th location, and then to crown those titles with that shorter field here in Malibu. I mean, we couldn't ask for much more. It really makes me excited about what we're going to see next year and the performances, because I've noticed this year that people have really put a lot of emphasis into that relationship with their surfboard shapers to really not only be dynamic on the nose, but dynamic on the rail, and that makes for exciting surfing, not only for the spectators, but also for the surfers pushing themselves, pushing the boundaries, and taking longboarding forward.
Yeah, we heard a lot of feedback this year around the types of waves that the surfers, for longboarding want to surf. And, we've really put a lot of time and effort into thinking about those point break style waves where the tour is going to shine. And, obviously the jewel for longboarding is here in Malibu, which is why that's where we'll be crowning world champions next year. But to have El Salvador and Bells, I think is awesome. And I'm really excited to see us be there.
I think that's so incredible. It's going to be a wonderful celebration of longboarding next year, bringing in those extra events as well, and some international destinations and some different waves maybe than our surfers have been competing on, which is great to see. Jesse, I want to know, how is the WSL, what are the thoughts behind the scenes for the WSL Tours and Competitions team on longboarding now that you've been able to see the celebration of the sport here at Malibu?
I think that this year for me, just learning a lot about longboarding and being a part of it really for the first time has been awesome. We've brought in Kira, we have Tori as our head judge. So you can see that there's a lot of energy being put into it and a lot of focus. And I think that's really important, for us when we're looking at this tour and thinking about, how amazing it can be for both our athletes and for us, and for something for us to be proud of. That's a really important thing. So I'm really happy to have Kira and Tori on the team, and for us to be really really solid for the tour going forward.
Well, on behalf of longboarders worldwide, I thank you. We're so excited to see the investment from the WSL, and we cannot wait for next year. Jesse, thanks so much for breaking it all down for us. Sam and I will be hanging in here, and we'll be taking a look at the Cuervo Top 5 right after this. Welcome back to the 8:05 post show. Good evening from Malibu. We've just crowned our world champions in Harrison Roach and Soleil Errico as the sun is beginning to set and the locals have taken to the lineup. Finally, they get to enjoy the perfect sets that have been rolling throughout the day. Shannon Hughes in the booth to call the post show alongside of Sam Bleakley and Matt Chinaski. It's been great to call the action with you. And we've got a great setup now leading into the Flying Embers wave of the day. There were quite a few good ones to pick from, and let's see which one landed at the top.
Oh my word, Harrison Roach.
Harrison just navigating from the nose there. Beautiful style. He faded into his initial bottom turn, and just classic surfing by Harrison Roach on a clean, long Malibu wall.
Oh, he's in that pocket. Perfect timing. Reading this wave very well.
Matt, the footwork so impressive with Roach coming through here. And look at how picture perfect Malibu is right now for finals day.
This is absolutely insane. Come on. 4 waves ridden and 3 of them are all 9s. All in the excellent range.
He finds 3 9s in the semifinals. The 9.4 for Harrison Roach out of his semifinal results in the Flying Embers wave of the day, Sam.
Oh, he was just on fire. And the measured pace, the way he walks in line with the lip, everything is always in that pocket. And the nuances, the way he surfs the middle of the board, I don't think any longboarder in history has surfed the middle of the board as well as Harrison Roach.
We have to cast back a very long way to see a performance like that to Nat Young in 1966 and a regurgitated world tour at some amazing waves. The tempo of Harrison Roach throughout this event was just perfect.
Walks away with the highest single score of the day with that 9.4. And now we get to talk through the Cuervo Top 5, the top 5 moments out of today's action. And kicking off with number 5, Kai Salas goes for broke. With that nice trim line to start and literally breaks the fin out the back, Sam.
I mean, Kai Salas has just been on fire all yesterday and all today, but the hold on the nose here, he was absolutely gunning for that world title and rode this wave right through to the inside and didn't hold back whatsoever. Everything mixing up and not backing down one moment until the full Rio onto the sand, knocking the fin out. It was commitment, it was dynamic, and it was right to the front line.
He needed the score at the time, and he needed a dynamic finish, and that he provided. He actually made this onto the short, fin snapped out, and he got the score at the time.
And you saw the fin pop out of the water there.
Absolutely, and There was a minute left at that stage. He was wondering, do I get back out in the water? And he saw the fin, board swap, heat was over.
And it was a great heat with Kayamana Takayama, and he referenced back to how inspiring it was to surf that heat and really be pushed to the edge.
Took the run around. And now taking out number 4 was the buzzer beater from Soleil Errico in her quarterfinal earlier today, where she took out Alice Lemoyne.
Well, Alice Lemoyne had been doing some of the longest nose rides we'd seen all event on her Luffy board, the model called the One. But what we saw from Soleil Errico was mixing it up. That element of the criteria that says use all of the board and all of the wave. And when she puts the board on rail, look at the ground she covers, the top of the wave, the bottom of the wave, and then projecting off the bottom of the wave to come back into the high section for the nose rides. This was incredible all-round longboarding, and it was the type of surfing that took her all the way to that world title.
Scored a 7.8 for it, gave some jumps on the beach with her friends and family around. That was her real start to that run to a world title. Coming in at number 3, it's Connie-Ella Stewart, putting in a clutch performance. Pulls through with an 8.07 to advance to the finals, Matt.
Phenomenal surfing from Carney in that heat against Declan White, and absolutely clutch. In the last few minutes of the event, he was under pressure, hadn't even surfed a wave for over 15 minutes, and came up with that beautiful hang 10. And just when we thought it was finished, he finished it right in the shore break with an off the top, surfing it right to the sand. Footwork from Carney and the variety in his turns, throwing in those little drop knees, is a huge improvement from what we've seen, and it is scary times. The Hawaiians are looking dominant.
Put together an incredible performance to walk away number 2 in the world. Get that requalification for next year, but really just display what longboarding is all about from Connie-Ella Stewart as our number 3. Up next, number 2 in the world is the world title for Harrison Roach, your 2022 World Longboard Champion, Matt.
Once again, the tempo and everything, and it did not put a foot wrong in pretty much any of his heats. There was one slip-up that actually caught Carniella off in the final as well, where a bit of backwash caught them both, you know, with that incoming tide. But look at that, just hot-dogging off the tail, using the full length of the board. But it was his round turns that set him up for these nose rides. Very little concave in this board, letting the tail do all the work, and Harry's body language shows that he knew how confident he was in getting those scores.
Incredible performance from Harrison Roach, your 2022 World Longboard Champion.
Yeah, and it was all about that nose riding from the tail as well, using that board design to really allow that lift. But Harrison's nuances, that footwork and that connectivity, the way he works the middle of the board between sections, is something that famously was under-recognized in longboard competition, but is now getting rewarded. And it's long overdue, this world title. All longboard fans have known that he's been one of the best for a long time.
With the chair up, and then Soleil Errico wins her second world title after her first in 2018 and becomes the 2022 World Longboard Champion.
The read of the waves was a key thing for Soleil. A lot of her best waves all delivered through the midsection all the way to the inside, because she chose the right line early on, and then once she gets loose through these inside sections and comes hard off the bottom, climbs to the top to engage for the lock on the hold of the nose ride with the classic posture with the Malibu pier in the background. That is absolutely iconic, into that amazing roundhouse cutback.
Sitting on the beach and watching that final live, and that roundhouse on the shore break, my gosh, the finishing maneuver on that just showed and really was a tip of the hat to show the judges she was leaving nothing left to be answered. Was the nose riding enough? Yes. Was the mid-board connectivity enough? Yes. Were her end section maneuvers and choice of waves enough? Yes, yes, and yes, and here it is.
Best rail surfing of the event, Soleil Errico, but all round, using all the board, all of the wave, dynamic, and also the body language. For me, this was longboarding as dance.
Wow, we have to say, with performances like that from Soleil Errico, with gracious wins and those emotional moments from both of our surfers, we have to say that the future of longboarding is bright.
Absolutely. I mean, Harrison finally has got that world title. When Justin Quintal won that world title, it was a sense of relief for a lot of longboarders around the world. Finally. You know, these are people who have excelled in the duct tape invitationals, and to be able to translate the type of longboarding that people love to this WSL level, and to have the whole tour orientated around this future-facing approach to longboarding is really special. So, big plus for the WSL, big thank you. Stoked for Harry, and also Soleil, for me, a role model for the future of women's longboarding.
Incredible, Matt, to be able to just witness all the action and be a part of it.
And finally, it really feels like longboarding has become its own. You know, there was a story to be told this year, and we climaxed it here at Malibu. Who would have thought the final between these 4 surfers, anyone could have gone any way. Khalees getting knocked out in that semi-final. There was so many different scenarios coming into this, but it ended up at the very last heat with Harrison taking that win and Khalees and Sophia battling it off for that Hawaiian world title, but Soleil taking the win.
Yeah, incredible performances to be able to see the local take it out and Harrison Roach and the Australian. Stay tuned for highlights, but also tune in to the EDP, Visla, Pro, and Era Serra for more action in Portugal all the way through October 9th.
Malibu, the iconic longboard wave.
This is the longboarders pipeline.
It puts our hair on end when we see good longboarding,
It really
especially
is.
this
It's the
way.
most exciting thing. Lovely use of footwork, no downtime in between.
That was sensational.
She just ticked all of the boxes that those judges are looking for.
There's no lie, 'cause you feel complete. There's no wondering why.
That was outstanding from Coniella.
Look at that.
Oh my goodness.
Looking as loose and groovy as ever.
That was a beautiful bit of surfing.
Chloe, come on. Coming through in a clutch situation.
Yeah, I couldn't be more excited to crown world champions today.
This is going to be a fantastic day.
Kawabunga. Let's get it going.
Executing everything with perfection.
This is like a longboard dream tour.
Beautiful perched hang 10.
This is one of the great stylish longboarders of the modern era.
We have the quarterfinals on the way.
I'm so excited about this.
It is enough. Soleil, Errico moves on.
Wow. Mason Shrev has been surfing phenomenally well. Approach to longboarding. This is where women's longboarding could go.
Finding a beautiful trim line.
It's going to be won in the water.
2022 World Longboard Champion, Harrison Roach.
Our 2022 World Longboard Champion, Delay Errico.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any